Breaking! Mark Zuckerberg's Meta has already lost the Metaverse. By the end of 2021, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg had announced that the company would undergo a dramatic name change and would now be focusing plenty of its efforts on a new initiative called the Metaverse. But while Facebook became Meta and Zuckerberg and his company investing on their future of the internet, the reality is the Metaverse is already here. In this video, we're looking at how Mark Zuckerberg's Meta has already lost the Metaverse. Do the wise thing and hit that like button, then subscribe to Big Brain Tech. The Metaverse. One of the biggest tech announcements of 2021 was when Mark Zuckerberg's social media platform Facebook underwent an overhaul, renaming the entire company into Meta. While during this time, Facebook had been facing plenty of intrigue, from accusations of the company being aware of how toxic an influence it can get to questions about cybersecurity. And while the challenges for the company had been compounding, Zuckerberg and Meta has seemingly reinvigorated themselves on this ambitious new initiative that, according to Mark, would pave the way for the company's future. The term Metaverse was first used in the early 90s, appearing in the novel Snow Crash from science fiction author Neil Stephenson. In the book, the Metaverse is a 3D virtual world inhabited by avatars of real people. Since then, the idea of this digital world space has become more known, with different versions of the concept appearing within modern pop culture. From books to movies, mankind has always been toying with the idea of our existence in the virtual space since the first computer was powered up. Today, the Metaverse refers to a set of virtual spaces where people can explore, create, and experience the digital world, all in an immersed 3D virtual space that can parallel the real world. Think of what you know about virtual reality and amplify that by putting in services, functions, and experiences that can somehow mimic our activities in the real world. That is what the Metaverse is, and more. This modern rendition of the Metaverse offers an immersive virtual 3D experience through different platforms and digital spaces in an attempt to merge the physical and digital world. In the Metaverse, people can go shopping in a completely virtual mall. You can watch a concert with all of your friends from all over the world as you converge in the digital space and watch your favorite performers, or rather their avatars on stage, performing to a crowd of avatars of yourselves. Much like a realized Ready Player One concept, the Metaverse can make digital experiences hyper-realistic, from virtual games to actual meetings in the digital space, where voice and looks can be mimicked to your likeness. Many consider this Metaverse to be the future of the internet, changing the way we exist within our current interactions in cyberspace. We currently utilize our internet access through 2D experiences, from images and videos to text that exist in a two-dimensional space, mostly seen through a screen. The Metaverse changes the internet experience completely with your headset and goggles, providing a means to immerse yourself in the system's 3D environment, adding a new layer of how we experience the internet. Inside the Metaverse, we can exist through avatars of ourselves, walking through the internet itself, instead of merely browsing through it. This aspect of the digital environment is opening up plenty of potential, with tech companies currently developing their own innovations and technologies. Meta's new initiative. Inside the Metaverse, we can perceive everything in 3D virtual reality. This aspect of a new level experience is what Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, or rather Meta, is now keen at developing. Aside from changing its name to Meta, the company has now set its sights on the Metaverse as one of its biggest priorities. Facebook has always had social interaction at its core, and with this next level of human interaction imminent, the race to develop needed technologies to initiate a fully realized Metaverse is now at hand. Meta has invested heavily in virtual reality through its Oculus headsets, even lowering down the Oculus pricing to make it more accessible to the public. Meta has also invested more than $50 million in funding non-profit groups to help build the Metaverse more responsibly. The company knows that achieving a fully realized Metaverse could still take up to 10 to 15 years, and that it can't be created by one single company alone. Mark Zuckerberg himself has mentioned that to him, the Metaverse is the embodiment of the internet, which is why he intends to pursue this direction for the company, as it holds unlimited potential. As a parallel digital world to our own, the Metaverse can be an extension of today's internet. This is why Zuckerberg, during the name change announcement, also presented presented their developed apps intended for their metaverse. They've been experimenting on their own VR meetings app called Workplace and a social space they call Horizons, with both having users that exist in the digital space through personalized avatars. But while Zuckerberg and Meta intends to pursue further innovation, many proclaim that the concept of virtual world spaces, or the metaverse itself, has already been active far beyond the hold of Zuckerberg and his company. Other metaverse players. While all eyes are focused on Meta's developments, technology experts have been pointing out that the concept of virtual 3D world building has already been existing. We can find plenty of evidence of this in online games. Currently, online games set in 3D worlds already account for over 6 billion player accounts worldwide. That's 6 billion people already experiencing concepts and actions within a virtual world. In fact, at any given time, there can be up to 2.5 billion gamers active in their own metaverse. In that sense, there are more active users currently on existing virtual worlds right now than there are users on popular platforms, Facebook or Meta, whichever you prefer to call it, Instagram and WhatsApp combined. The top 4 games with 3D worlds are PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Crossfire, Dungeon Fighter, and G-Kart, which all have 3.5 billion player accounts. Considering that all these games are owned by one company, Tencent, the largest gaming company in the world at that's a whole chunk of the metaverse pie that they already control. Tencent also has a solid hold on online transactions, being the owner of huge online social payment systems QQ and WeChat. This access to a commonly used direct online payment system is something that Zuckerberg's Meta only wishes to have running on their platforms right now. This Chinese multinational entertainment conglomerate and holdings company also has other assets, such as owning Tencent Music, which owns Spotify, powerhouse studio Riot Games, along with a 40% stake in Epic Games, both with massive followings. This provides Tencent with a huge hold over their metaverse activities, like the immersive experience that occurred when Roblox and Fortnite put together a virtual concert featuring stars like Ariana Grande and others. While the idea of people interacting in the digital world is the foundation of online multiplayer games, it shares the principal foundation of what the metaverse is all about. Another top 5 virtual world game that has a massive following is Minecraft, with its 600 million players worldwide, making the company behind the game, Microsoft, another one of the largest gaming companies on the planet, with Microsoft's own metaverse vision in full effect. Combine that with a following from Microsoft's Xbox and the HoloLens, then you can clearly see that Microsoft's path to the metaverse is pretty much well ahead of Zuckerberg's Meta aspirations. Meta today claims 5 million users spread out among its Oculus activities within Horizon's Home, Horizon World, and Horizon Workrooms. This is merely 0.2% of all the virtual 3D world experiences that are already existing today. And while a true interconnected metaverse still doesn't truly exist today, the technologies and our understanding of the encompassing concept is still in the works. And from the looks of it, Zuckerberg and Meta still has a long way to go. So, what do you think about Mark Zuckerberg's Meta and how it has already lost the metaverse? Let us know in the comments below. Like and share this video. Then be sure to check out other informative videos from Big Brain Tech.